Madame Tussauds Hollywood.
More than just a wax museum.
www.madametussauds.com/Hollywood. Welcome, dear listener, to our podcast. Jeff and Rick present Unpacking the Power of Power Pack,
where we journey through each issue of comics that include a member of the most underrated Marvel series from the 80s while drinking beer.
Analyzing awesome and amazing adjacent adolescent adventures, and absorbing alcohol.
I'm Jeff.
And I am Rick.
According to legend, random banters were originally called Red Hot Dachshund Sausages. Random banter time, buddy. Talk to me, tell me tall tales and tantalizing tidbits of trivia today.
Before you even started talking, I was going to just say your random banter is going to be about hot dogs.
You were correct, it is.
Yeah, I knew that. But I'm not going to talk to you about hot dogs. No, sirree. I am going to talk to you about the Baltimore City Comic-Con, because I went to that a couple of weeks ago. I got back from that. This is the first time we've recorded since I came back, and I wanted to just tell you about the amazing time that I had.
I am excited to hear about it.
I had a very long road trip leading up to that. I wanted to finish up my tour of going to all 50 states before I turned 50, and I did so. My last stop was Vermont. That night, I had the wonderful opportunity to spend the night at Ryan Daly's house from the Fire and Water Network. He does Cheers Cast as well as a whole bunch of other things, but he offered to let me stay at his house, and that was fantastic. It was a nice way to finish up my 50 states, but I was not done yet. No, sir. I went up to Canada, went back down through New York, went and saw my sister-in-law in Maryland, and then I went up on Friday to go to the Comic-Con. And this was a blast. I knew I was going to see a lot of people there, not only the comic book creators, but a lot of other podcasters as well. I got in touch with Shag Matthews. He was there already. So as soon as I got to the hotel to drop off my stuff, went up and said hi to him, dropped off my car at the airport, went back. Him and I met up. We went over and had a wonderful lunch with a whole bunch of people. I think Tim Price was there. Shag was there. Stephen Givens, also from the Fire and Water Network. Paul Keene from DC Special Cast. Michael Lane. I think Stella Bowman and Harry Shute were there. Bill Beer and his wife. And I think that's right. I think that's all that was there. We had a few more people that joined us at the dinner later on, but it was really kind of nice. It was a nice way to start it all off because we had this great lunch with all these other podcasters. Oh, Ruth and Darren Sutherland, they were there as well. Forgot to mention them. It was fantastic. You know, as we're talking at lunch, what are the one things everybody wants to see and everybody's talking about? And the one thing I wanted to see was the Simonsons. Only thing I wanted to see, the Simonsons. I wanted to see Louise Simonson and Walt Simonson. Leave lunch, go over, ready to jump in line for the Simonsons, and it is full. It was 1:30 in the afternoon, and they had closed off the line saying, nope, no more today. I was very upset. So I was wandering around talking to a few other people. I was trying to kind of calm down, saw some other creators I knew. Walked back by around 3 o'clock when their line was finishing up because they had to go to some forums. They were going to be on some panels. And I saw people kept coming up and saying, oh, can you sign this? And like, yeah, sure. I was like, I'm done with this. I'm not going to wait. Pulled out a shirt that I wanted to give to her, the one that says Alex and Julie and Jack and Katie and all their colors, black shirt. Wheezy, I just wanted to get you this shirt. I missed getting in line with you to see you today. Really upset about it, but I wanted to make sure I got you the shirt, and I will be in line tomorrow. And she was just oohing and ahhing. She saw the shirt. She goes, oh my God, that's an amazing shirt. And she looked up and she saw me and she said, get back here, because she recognized me. And she pulled me behind the table and she said, oh my gosh, it's amazing you're here. She gave me a big old hug. She said, this is fantastic. This is great. And she was just really excited. And she said, oh, hey, one more thing. She turned to her handler and said, hey, I just want to let you know, he does not wait in line. If he shows up, he gets to cut in line as soon as he shows up because he's special.
VIP treatment for the Power Pack buddies. Well, half of us. Well, one of us. Well, Rick.
Yeah, Louise Simonson said that. I'm just like, are you kidding me? And she signed a couple things I had, because I had a couple of comic book pages that I had brought that I wanted her to sign. And I wanted Walt to sign one too. She goes, Walt, get over here, sign this. And goes, oh, wait. We have to get a picture with all of us. And Walt's like, sure. She introduces me to him. Oh, yes. And so we got my picture taken with him, and it was amazing.
It's amazing. That is so cool.
So that night, we were like all this big group of different podcasters. We were sitting around a table, and I think we had Brett Young and Captain Entropy and his wife. They had joined us, as well as a few other people. And they're going around the table like, what's the one thing that happened today that you really like? And they're going around the table, and we all know what Rick is going to say. Because apparently the Simonsons have adopted him. And it was like that all weekend. I would go by her table. I didn't wait in that line. I went by her table. She saw me. She waved me over, said, come back here, sit down next to me. And as she's signing, as she's signing people's stuff, you know, like she'd sign them, talk to them, and there'd be breaks in people coming up to her table as they brought them over from the line. And she'd turn around, she'd sign mine stuff and just talk to me.
Oh, that is so cool. That is so very, very
Walt
cool.
Simonson finally shows up back up at the table, and he's got this original piece of artwork from a comic strip, and he's showing it off to everybody, and Howard Chaykin's at the table next to him, and he's like, Howard, look at this, look at this. Oh, I got to get something to keep this in. It's too precious just be on its own. And I'm still back behind the booth, and I'm like, Walt, can I go and buy something to put this in for you? And he's like, sure. I said, please let me take this. I will be back. He's like, okay. And I run across the hall. I find this big plastic sleeve that's going to fit it. Purchases like $15. Like, I'll pay for it. I don't care. It's for the Simonsons. So I bought that, put it in, running back, handed it. He goes, yes, this is perfect. Thank you. And I said, you were a little worried I wouldn't come back, weren't you? He goes, just a little bit, but it's fine.
Like, well, you left a shirt as collateral.
Oh, no,
I mean, come on.
I left my entire stack of comic books I wanted him to sign as collateral.
Yeah.
So yeah, at the end of his line, I came back and he signed all my stuff for me. I swung back around and had a nice talk with him too. And next day was the same thing on Sunday, where I was able to go up and talk to her a lot. There was one point I was waiting for one of her panels, and I saw her come up to the panel. She was early, and I waved her over, and so she sat down and was talking to me. And somebody came up and they had their daughter with them. Their daughter was dressed up. I think she was like 2 or 3, and she was dressed up like Storm. It was absolutely adorable costume. So they got their picture taken with her, and they walk off, and I see my friend Stephen Gibbons walking by. I wave him over. I'm like, hey, Stephen. He turns around and waves to me and then stops. He's like, oh my God, you're sitting with Louis Simonson. And I was like, come on over here. I introduce them. I say, he's a high school teacher. And she's like, oh my God, that's so fantastic. And he's just falling over himself, like saying, oh my God, I'm just a big fan. And I was like, can he take a picture with you? Oh, yes, of course. And he's just like, I can't believe you're doing this, man. I'm like, please, it's awesome. I saw David Walker there, David Walker's a Portland writer. I see him all the time, and I was talking to him at the table a lot. I was kind of telling him about the Simonsons. He goes, oh, I really want to meet them. It's like, well, let's go and see if we can get you over there. And he goes over there, and I get him up there so he can meet and talk to Louis Simonson. And he's just like, this is amazing. This is great. You know, he didn't just kind of walked him in like, can you just say a few words to you before we go off to panel? Oh, yeah, sure. Got a picture with him with both Simonsons, and he was just like, that was amazing. Thank you. I was like, thank you, man. You do great work, too. 2 creators should meet like that. That's not a problem.
He's like, oh, I've always wanted to meet them. You're like, you know what? I might know somebody that could get you in. Come over here with me, and here you are.
It was amazing. It was fantastic. I really enjoyed it. I was able to get them to sign. I was able to get Louis Simonson and Walt Simonson to sign the first comic book that I bought. Bought X Factor 21 is the first one that I personally bought for myself. I got them both to sign it, and I was able to tell Louis Simonson what it meant to me and what that comic book and all the other comics that I've loved as a kid, what they meant to me. And I was very happy. I was sending pictures throughout my trip, and I sent my family a bunch of pictures, and I sent a picture with me with the Simonsons, and my sister's like, I have no clue who that is. And I was like, well, in the comic book world, that's kind of like me standing and getting a picture with Tom Cruise and Meryl Streep. And my sister's like, oh, okay. And I told that to Louise Simonson later on. She goes, oh, that's the nicest thing anybody said about me. So yes, it was very, very cool. It was very, very cool. It was wonderful. I cannot say enough about how great it was to spend time with Tim Price, Shake Matthews, all of those people. Captain Entropy and his wife, I had a great opportunity talking to them. I really enjoyed getting to meet them. I got to the airport really early on Sunday, and I was a little bummed because I was by myself. I was at the airport. I had nothing really to do after such a full weekend. I was about to kind of just walk and check out the rest of the airport, and I saw Captain Entropy and his wife coming up, and they were walking towards a gate near mine, found out that their plane was leaving 15 minutes after mine, and they were right next to me. So we had a wonderful dinner together. It was wonderful. I got to spend time with some fantastic people, have some great conversations. I think it was Saturday night. We're big table, like 14 people around, and we're sitting there just talking. And the Sutherlands were having a conversation with Shag Matthews and I think Paul Klein, and they were talking about Doctor Who, and they were talking about Quantum Leap got in there, and they're just having this very geeky and detailed conversation. It was going around the table, and I just stopped him at one point and said, this is what's awesome, is just being around people who you can have these kinds of very geeky, very fan-based, loving conversations with, and just listen to people's thoughts and their own takes on things. And it's something you don't get to do a lot. You just don't get to sit down and have that level of deep conversation about something you really enjoy all that often with people, because sometimes you just can't find those friends that have all of those level of loves and all those things all the time around you. And so it's just neat to be surrounded by that at some points in time. It's fun. It was a great time.
So what you're saying is that positive experience.
Positive experience all around. Friday night, late at night, after dinner, Shag and Tim Price and I, we went over to one of the hotels, and we found the hotel where a lot of the creators were there drinking, and went in and sitting there with Paul Story and Jamie Ingle, and actually started with Paul Story, and we're sitting there drinking with him and Desiree from the Hero Initiative, and her dog Sydney, of course, and we're sitting around, and Jamal Ingle came and joined us, and we sat there drinking till like 12:30 or 1 o'clock in the morning or something like that, and just having a great time. It was a blast. At the comic convention, too, I also saw Rich Woodall, Craig Rousseau, David Walker, like I mentioned, a whole lot of other creators, but I had a really good time with those ones in particular. I would go and talk with them a lot and interact with them. Had a really good time talking over and over with Paul Stories. Very cool guy as well. So, no, it was a great time. It was a lot of fun, and I could go on and on and on about talking about all that stuff, but I'm not going to. I wanted to just go and get that out there right now, and I've taken up all of your time, but I promise next episode I will give you time to talk about your adventures. But for now, let's get on to this comic. What do you think?
Okay, I'm all right with that. I honestly would love to have just had the episode be you telling us stories about Comic-Con, but we're going to actually crack some beers, crack a comic, and crack some jokes, because this is our 200th official episode. Plus, we snuck a few extra podcasts in between the official ones. You might have heard some more crossovers and everything. But this is the official number 200, so we shall celebrate with the traditional wooing of hooing. So, woohoo.
Woohoo, woohoo, woohoo. Okay, we're done with that. Now, Jeff, can you please give us a 2 cents replay of last episode?
There he is in shambles, and the only thing left to do on the FF's to-do list is for Scott to rip apart Doom's armor, tear off his face mask, drag him around a cave, toss him around a cave, giant size up and take him out of a cave, and shove a stick down Doom's throat until the Living Tribunal shows up and curses Doom to have an invulnerable face that will have a fresh scar carved upon it for each base act of malice that Doom commits from this day forth. Scott then tests Doom's new face out by turning off the cameras and then beating Doom to within an inch of his life, and only stops when Doom begs for mercy. Now that the Watu the Watcher was very pleased that he regained consciousness in time to see Scott slap the silly out of Doom, 2 sentence replay is over, why don't you give me a beer and tell us what our Power Pack pick is?
My pleasure, my friend. I would like you to reach into that bag and pull out what I have given you.
Let's find out. I have a glass, I have a bag, and that bag is a can. It is Hot Dog Day Afternoon Modern Cream Ale Ilk Beer by Olympia Halicon Brewing Company from Olympia, Washington. Boy, Hot Dog Day Afternoon. I don't know why you reference hot dogs. I mean, I put that in as my random banter thing. It's because we're having a barbecue and there's hot dogs involved. The can on this is lovely. It's got nice orange and blues, and it's got anthropomorphic hot dogs with guns. Maybe they're fighting a hamburger with a badge or not. There's a lot of hot dogs. It's a heist that's going on. There's things that are hot dogs and hamburgers or something are robbing money from a bank vault. So yeah. It's odd, but there's hot dogs, and that's what these two issues are about, are hot dogs.
Yeah. That's it. We have a barbecue going on. There's a hot dogs here. Hot Dog Day Afternoon by Halcyon Brewing Company. It's a cream ale. And it is very hard to find information about this, but that's what we got. Oh, 5% ABV. Yeah.
I haven't even looked for story time on it because I'm pouring myself a beer. That pour's really pretty nice. Did a sloppy pour, but a very shallow head on that. Oh, let's see. Story time is Olympia Made. There you go.
Yeah.
It's good story time. Yeah, they don't have any words on here, do they? They don't have much going on. I don't know if I've even heard of Halicon Brewery before.
Yeah, I was having a really hard time really finding a lot about this one, but I love the art on this can. It's fantastic. Like you said, it's a heist. It's a heist with hot dogs.
Yeah.
And it looks like the hamburgers are the cops.
Yeah, that could be right. Yeah, 'cause, I mean, it's kind of a play on the movie Dog Day Afternoon, but it's a hot dog day afternoon. Yep. So, and the dogs, their guns kind of look like future ray gun kind of things, and it's hard to tell, but there might also be I'm not sure if that's a steak person or a lettuce person or something that's, I don't know if it's a bank, I don't know. Oh no, they've got a gun too. Yeah. Man, it is hard to understand what is going on with here, but there's definitely a story and there is some grilly creature action going on, and it's definitely a heist. That's all I know about it. That's a great can. I fully understand why you picked it, and I'm so glad that it's here. Yeah,
this is just a cream ale, so this is very clear. This is a nice yellow, clear as day kind of beverage. We got
that is transparent.
The bubbles coming up very nicely going on there. It looks like just
it smells like an ale. Yeah, it has beer scent to it. It looks like a beer.
This is mild as anything.
Yep.
This is...
You can taste that carbonation.
Yeah, this is one step around water.
Mm-hmm. I can tell that it's beer, but man, it is so mild. I guess on the second sip, on the back end of it, you're getting some of that, traditional like ale flavor, that kind of little hop kind of malt kind of stuff going on, but really not a lot to it.
Tell you what you could do with this. You could down a lot of these. This is very easy to drink. There's nothing complex about it at all.
Yeah, this is a summertime yard working beer.
No.
This is a working beer.
No, it's
for
not.
Me.
You know what this is? This is sitting down with a grill with a lot of hot dogs and shoving hot dogs down your throat and drinking the slung with it.
Yeah, washing down those dogs with the relish and ketchup on them, which is the way that I do.
That's it. It is so simple, so pure. You're not going to lose a taste of one thing or the other by drinking this beer with it. If anything else, I think that it's going to offset a nice, good grilled, meaty hot dog very well.
Yeah, this would go along really well with some grill action going on. And man, I'm kind of getting a little feisty for some hot dogs now.
Yeah.
Man, we're recording.
Even though it's the beginning of winter, it is rainy as anything outside. I just want to heat up the grill and get some good hot dogs going. But we can't do that. We can't.
Go over to Costco for $1.50. Get me a hot dog.
Oh, we could do that. But we can't do that now. I'm not going to let you leave this recording area because you might not come back. It has happened before.
It's true. It is true. Sometimes I go a-wandering.
So let's shut the eating hole and open up the vocal hole and tell me a little bit about the opening credits, if you please.
FF Volume 2, Issue Number 16, March 2014, 4. And Fantastic Four, Volume 4, Issue Number 16, March 2014, 4. Credits. Writers: Carl Kessel, Lee Allred. Penciler: Joe Cajones. Inker: Michael Allred. Colorist: Laura Allred. Letterer: Clayton Cowles. Editor: Tom Brevoort.
Featuring Mr. Fantastic, Invisible Woman, Human Torch, The Thing, Ant-Man, She-Hulk, Mrs. Thing, Medusa, Franklin Richards, Valeria Richards, Bentley Whitman, Dragon Man, Alex Power, Leech, Artie Maddox, Anime, Ohura, Luna, Tong Turer, Cora Milk, Vil Wu, Adolf Impossible, Wyatt Wingfoot, Silver Surfer, Uatu, and Ulanu, The Watchers.
So what we have here is the backup story for both Fantastic Four and FF number 16. What the creators did is they wrote one story, put it in both books, but pulled out some different pages from each story.
What this looks like is that you're reading the same story in both books, but some scenes are missing, so you need to combine the books to make the whole story.
Yeah, and to do that, what I did personally was purchase 2 copies of each book, tore out all of the pages. I got the extra copy for each because of the double-sided nature of comic books. I cut out each panel, glued them to an 8.5 by 11 inch pieces of paper, and then I organized it and stapled it all together. This makes the most sense on how to read the story, in my personal opinion. So that's how I did it. How did you do it, Rick?
I had the 2 books next to each other and I figured it out.
My way's better.
And more expensive. Look, what we're going to do is go through the beats like a complete story, starting with Fire on the Moon.
That's right. This is the post-various FF's battles wrap-up party. A barbecue party on the moon with family and friends and creepy watchers.
Johnny's at the grill, being the master of flame that he is, and he is waxing poetic about the mysteries of fire with Wyatt Wingfoot, while the FF kids await some dogs.
Part of this is to honor old John Storm, who, in the Fantastic Four final story, hopped back in time into the other reality where the real Fantastic Four were and sacrificed himself to buy them the time they needed to win the day.
He went out in a blaze of glory!
Yes, he did, Mr. Bon Jovi. Also at the party, and interested in the philosophy of fire, is the Silver Surfer. He came to check on Uatu following Doom's attack, and now is dealing with a hot dog liberally smothered with all the fixins.
Nearby, Ben Grimm and Jen Walters have found a secluded place to share stories and have a chat.
The banter is a little bit of mocking and lighthearted mocking, and there's the question if Jen is going to hang around a bit.
And while Jen views the offer as a proposition, or Ben hitting on her, Ben says that he is actually thinking about another woman.
I cannot tell you how much I do not care about this at all. But there are two groups of people that do in fact care. The first is another group that I also do not care about, which in fact would be the Moloids.
To sum up their version of the meeting with the Ben and the Jen, first they are sad that they must give up the Jen to the Ben. Then when they see them going their separate ways, the Moloids make a pact that they will force the Ben and the Jen to be together because all things are for the Ben, even if he does not want them.
My brain loses cells when I have to try and comprehend the Moloids and their thought process. But they do make some terrifyingly, surprisingly good wingmen.
Let's check some actual lovebirds. Scott and Darla. Darla has noticed that Scott has been avoiding her. And he has. Because he is a dirty, bloody-handed felon.
Well, that's a bit of a harsh truth.
Plus, he's an old creepy man, and she is arguably using a fake ID to drink.
Well, Darla is not caring about that, and she does not care that Scott died once.
I mean, who hasn't?
Look, she's just a girl, standing on the moon, in front of a boy who can shrink, looking for love, and the smooching commences in front of the spectral image of Casey's death tree.
Tale as old as time. Wait, smooching commences in front of a what?
Now let's check back in on Johnny and Wyatt. They too have seen the Ben and the Jen, but they both rightly see that they are just good friends, and that's all that they will ever be. But that prompts Wyatt to ask about Johnny's love life.
Glancing at the scene that just happened with Scott and Darla, Johnny guesses that he is a free agent. Again.
Wyatt suggests that he do some self-reflection, work on himself, find his thing.
And on the spot, Johnny decides that he will become a rock star. And while he cannot play an instrument, sing, read sheet music, or choreograph dance numbers, he can play a mean fire guitar.
That is like an air guitar, but with fire.
Do not try this at home, kids. But if you do, and it works, it means that you may have been exposed to cosmic rays at some point.
Watching Wyatt and Johnny watch Ben and Jen and Darla and Scott are Reed and Uatu.
Hang on, I may need to diagram that sentence.
Reed is worried about Johnny.
Really? You just now noticed that Johnny is a worry? Way to be a Reed.
Hey, he's had a lot on his mind, and we also just had that crazy old John Storm.
Dude, I've seen a future version of you, and it did not get me that worried about you.
Really? Wow, huh? What was I like?
Okay, I saw a cigar box filled with ash, and I thought it was your ashes from the future.
See, Rick, now I'm really worried about present you.
Back to the story, Uatu basically gives Reed the "kids, what you gonna do?" speech, and then admits that he is a little worried about fatherhood.
I guess if you're gonna talk to someone about raising an omnipotent and powerful being, Reed, sadly, is your best option.
Reed promises that he and the Fantastic Four are always there to look out for him and his family.
And surprisingly, Uatu reciprocates that offer.
Meanwhile, Sue Storm is chatting with the expectant watcher, Ulana, who is literally, and not just figuratively, radiant.
Show-offy intergalactic beings.
Some interesting things from this chat are the reminder that the Watcher's appearance is modulated by who they observe.
So, do the Watchers just think the human race all look like Charlie Brown or something?
Probably. And also that Watcher babies start observing in the womb and know the right moment to be born.
Sue drops a little bit of wisdom, saying that even planned babies that come out when expected cause chaos and uncertainty and fear. They change everything.
Amen, sister. Amen.
Speaking of children, what are those future Foundation brats doing?
Franklin, Wu, Vil, Adolf, Impossible, and Bentley have found a nice ledge to eat grilled meat and drink Mountain Dew, and in one case, to read a book.
Franklin has been informed of what the FF have been up to. Franklin is fascinated, and links the use of Pym particles to his universe-warping powers.
There's a lot of talk about Scott, his romance with Darla, and the genetic structure of Scott's family line, which enables them to use Pym particles better than most.
The fish kids point out that you gotta be careful messing around with that y-axis, or you can be supercharged.
Yeah, that's kind of what happened to Simon Williams, Wonder Man. He died and the particles supercharged and ionized his body.
It is at this point that Bentley states that they should dig up Casey Lang's body to see what's happening to her.
Hey, he just said what the other kids were thinking.
Meanwhile, there are other parents that are dealing with their kids too. Medusa and Crystal are trying to convince their kids, Uhura and Luna, that they should stay on Earth with the Future Foundation because it's safer than being with the Inhumans.
I mean, really. I think it's more of a coin flip on that one.
Well, it doesn't matter because both kids are taking a page out of their mother's books and explaining that they have their own opinions. They want to go back to the Inhumans. These Foundation kids are just too weird.
Now let's go back to Darlo and Scott, who are basking in the radiant glow of a newly forged relationship. Which means that's the perfect time to be interrupted by a perturbed Reed Richards.
Reed wants to chastise Scott for his choices on bringing the Future Foundation in on a mission to take down Dr. Doom. How could he? Scott was charged with protecting the kids. How could he put them in danger?
Scott calmly reaches into a pocket and enlarges his mirror and sets it in front of Reed and walks away.
Well, he didn't actually do that, but, he should have. Instead, he lays out his reasoning and states that the kids were never in any real danger.
The kids? Oh, Scott thinks that Reed is talking about the kids? No, Reed wants to know how Scott could do that. I mean, Scott's Scott, and Doom's Doom. And that's not a job that an ant should be able to finish.
Scott's explanation on how he used Pym particles is enough to distract the angry, confused parent with the curious scientist.
Not only is Scott off the hook for child endangerment, he is also about to land a sweet fellowship, scientific partner, funding, and grants to study the new aspect of Pym particles.
Reed is ready to drop this new scientific quandary on his daughter's shoulders, but can't find her. Luckily, we can.
She's off sulking after being excluded from both teams' final events, and she is ready to run away to the circus, but already knows she would have to deal with the circus of crime. So she's even more depressed.
Thankfully, Onome shows up to mock her in just the right way to get the little genius out of her funk and pull her outside for some of her uncle's cooking.
Meanwhile, her sibling has shunted space to check out the aftermath of the fight with Doom. Ravonna and Annihilus are still sifting through the rubble, looking for some lost items and some spare change.
For the Bug King, it's his control rod, which he does in fact find.
My precious.
And Ravonna is looking for her own bug rod, or, as she likes to call it, Kid Immortus.
Well, she may hate the time-displaced dweeb. She also just wants to torture him.
Her and Franklin exchange pleasantries and threats, and a barring from the family barbecue of time-displaced women named Ravonna.
And with that, Franklin pops back to the moon to pull the Watchers from their watching plateau to actually be part of the party.
Oh, and the Silver Surfer has decided that he will now be a hot dog salesman, because they are so good!
And as the Watchers ponder over the power of humanity, we get a huge, large, beautiful splash page of everyone invited to the party.
Including a petrified Jim and Maggie Power hanging out with their son Alex.
And Ulana hinting that it is time for her to give birth.
The end. Or as the comic expresses, the adventure continues.
But not this episode. Well, yeah, we're going to continue for a little bit longer because we need to talk about the themes of this issue. We're going to start with the cover credits of the Fantastic Four issue because we talked about the cover last time of the FF one. And this is Fantastic Four finale number 16, and it is a kind of cool splash page. And I'll tell you the problem with it that I've got, because it's got a whole bunch of people on it. Fantastic Four is very much front and center, but you've also got a lot of the Avengers, some Inhumans
Thor,
up there.
Valkyrie,
you
Iron
got the
Man,
FF there.
Luke
You got
Cage.
Spider-Man. You got some new Warriors down at the bottom. You got the X-Men. I do not see Power Pack. I mean, Hyperion's here. What
Yes.
the heck? We
Yes.
could have... Come on, man.
Kid Nova's here. Wasp is here.
Or Begley, Kiesel, and Mounts. Come on, guys. Come
Yeah,
on.
I mean, again, it is a great looking cover. However, it is not a great looking cover for this issue because it has nothing to do with nothing.
Well, it's a great cover for a last issue of Fantastic Four. I got no problem with this. It just would have been better if Power Pack was on there. Come on. Come
Well,
on.
always. Yeah, I fully agree because I want Power Pack to be on the cover of pretty much everything. So,
But it's Mark Bagley, so it's good. It is good. All right. What'd you think about this separate storytelling process that we had here, the kind of breaking up of the story between the two books?
interesting, also a little frustrating, but it worked. because it was like a half or a third of the story was consistent. Like Johnny talking about fire, barbecuing, that page is the same. Reed coming in and bothering Darla and Scott, that's the same. The Watu talking to Aluna, his wife, girlfriend, about people and their gathering and how it's fantastic and it's their future and the foundation of everything, and Alana saying, yeah, it's time for me to have a kid. Then you have all the other stories, and they honestly kind of fit wherever you want them to be. But that being said, too, there are ones that do go before each other. Because I had read the one in Future Foundation first, where it shows the Moloids watching Jen and Ben, and they're kind of sitting together in a moon crater, and then they wave at each other and go their separate ways. Then I read the thing where it shows them in the moon crater having their discussion before they go their separate ways. Yeah. So it works. It is a fine way of telling a story. It is a frustrating way to look up stuff for Gallery of Greatness.
Yeah, well, there's that. But I've seen this kind of work in a lot of different movies. They have the same kind of split storytelling kind of a aspect. I think I've seen this in TV shows where they've actually done it where you see it from different sides, even between different episodes, or different shows entirely where they cross over. So it is fun when it's done right. I think I was talking to... I might have talked to the Allreds about this and mentioned this, and we just kind of took it and split it up as we felt we needed to. And you can see where they did it. You can see how it was done. Here's the story that was split, and what pages can we take out of one? What pages can we take out of the other? And make it just a little different. So it's a good marketing technique too. Yeah. You have to buy it as well. So
you want to get the rest of the story, go to here. Because each one had, I believe, 10 pages. But I think it seemed like there was probably 18 pages worth of comic that had been done and then split kind of thing.
Yeah. As far as wrapping up the storylines, it very much is... This seems like a heavier FF story than the Fantastic Four story. This is really a good encapsulation of what's been going on with the FF storyline, whereas the Fantastic Four storyline, it just kind of ends in there, and this is tapped on at the end, but they aren't really getting into too much of what they went through, or the Fantastic Four went through in the alternate dimension.
No, it was very much for the Foundation. I'm trying to decide if that's because Fantastic Four issue 16 was their big wrap-up issue where they explained everything and kind of did their denouement there. And I kind of feel it's that way. And the end of that story where they got old John went back in time into a different dimension and saved them so that way they could make it out and win the day kind of thing. So it seems like they wrapped it up for themselves in their own thing because they were separate from everything that was going on. So it makes sense that they would then have resolved everything in theirs and come in and been like, hey, what's going on here? And then finding out that way.
I almost feel that there should have been a little bit more that was able to wrap up. I don't know what, but it would have been nice that there was an even split of what was wrapping up on both of them because...
Yeah, but I don't know what they would have covered there because it's not like they brought anybody back to discuss anything with. Here's the people that could have related. Old John and Julius Caesar.
Well, maybe. I think the only thing that really kind of tried to wrap up in this from the Fantastic Four storyline was just some thoughts about Johnny Storm. Well, I'm kind of worried about Johnny and Johnny trying to figure out, okay, so what I'm going to do now, got this future version of myself that I don't want to be like. I'm not really in a relationship right now because it really wasn't a relationship anyways. There's just a lot of weird stuff that's there. So I don't know. I don't really know. And I'm sorry, I'm going to go back to the cover of this issue really quickly because I just noticed something. There's 2 Cyclopses on this page.
Oh, well, I see. You are correct. You are correct. There's the red and black X over the eyes one, and then classic
they got one,
original flavor.
Got one from the Brian Michael Bendis run, and then we've got the one from the original X-Men. That's just weird. Okay, anyways, sorry. Yep. Got distracted there for a second.
Not a problem. I understand why. We could say
I'm not going to try to explain it. I'm going to move on.
Well, there's the time displaced X-Men that came up that are around doing stuff, and they're the kids and all the things. So possibly. We could say that's Scott, but
that probably is the case. It probably is the teenage kids because I'm looking at it and there's 2 Icemen there.
Oh, you're right. I've got it covered with the Zoom meeting. Yep. There is a secondary Iceman. Yep. So it's going to be the time displaced kids.
Weird. Okay. So,
I mean, they were integral parts of this story.
And still no power pack.
No power pack, but twice the X-Men.
So yeah, the other thing I have in my notes here is the digging up of Cassie Lang or Stature. And they make a joke of it because they're looking at Wonder Man. He died with Pym particles. Well, he came back to life. Everybody comes back to life. Well, the Lang family tree has got a weird connection to Pym particles that affects them in a specific way. That's going to probably cause her to react. Well, we should just dig her up then.
Wonder Man was a human, died, came back as an ion flux matrix, which is what they're thinking Cassie might be coming back as. So they're like, well, Bentley was like, we should go dig her up and see. You know, that's how you prove science. So you go, an experiment's going on, somebody just needs to observe it, take down notes.
Hey, I watched the movie Reanimator. I know that's how it works.
Yep. Hey, I watched the movie Cemetery Man. I know how it works.
Oh, right. Is there anything else you want to talk about this story?
We've already discussed the most important part, which is that it made us hungry for hot dogs.
Mm-hmm. Lots of hot dog talk. Mm-hmm. Silver Surfer is now an ambassador to the hot dogs.
Yeah, that's great. One of the issues shows him flying around with two. He's like really studying one, and then he's flying around with two, and he's telling Uatu and Alana, he's like, you gotta try these heated dogs. They're great. He's all about the hot dogs.
With that in mind, let us get over to our gallery of greatness and our final thoughts. What piece of art in this book needs to be pinned to our walls or onto the gray rocks surrounding the hot dog feast? My backup joke one is fire guitar. That's Johnny Storm, and he's doing air guitar, but he's not doing air guitar, he's doing fire guitar because he shaped his fire into a guitar.
Yeah,
it made me laugh.
That's Johnny.
It made me laugh.
Oh, it's good. I figured that one was going to come into play. I'm like, I think the Rick's going to grab this one, and hey, check it out, I was correct. I didn't grab it. I did, however, for my joke backup, in the Future Foundation book, page 25 on Marvel Unlimited, I call it Foot Pop. And this is when Darla and Scott are kissing in front of the spectral image of Casey's ghost tree. Scott's got a foot up in the air. He's gonna leg pop, showing that there is passion and romance and that it's a big old thing for him. And it made me laugh, because it's traditionally the lady whose leg pops.
Last time I kicked up my leg like that, I took out a small child, so I try to do it every time I kiss somebody.
Because kissing and violence goes hand in hand.
Yes, yes, yes. My top joke one is what I call This Child, and this is where they are talking to the Inhuman kids, and this is the Fantastic Four one, and Luna is having herself a little bit of a temper tantrum as she's angry at her mom, and she yanks up on Lockjaw's ear.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm just like,
she's the worst.
Really? Poor Lockjaw. He's like, yipe, that hurt.
Yeah, because he yipes and everything, too, because it hurt. It was sudden and it hurt. It's not cool at all.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
What is your top joke one?
My top joke one is on Future Foundation's page 25. Again, it is the top panel. And it is, the most important part is down in the bottom right-hand corner where Silver Surfer is studying a hot dog. He's holding it in two hands. He's kneeled down. He's got it at eye level. And he's like, what is this mysterious tubed meat?
Yeah.
And it cracks me up.
No, that's good. I do like that. I like that he's staring at it and he's like, I want to make sure. How does this work? How is this happening? What is going on with this hot dog?
Yes, what's this? What's this? This meat before my eyes. What's this? What's this?
Hang on.
I'd like a side of fries.
My backup good art is the boys. And this is a picture of the Future Foundation kids. Well, it's Franklin, the two fish kids, Adolf, and Bentley, and they're all just sitting on a ledge, chowing down and talking. I don't know, there's something kind of cool about that. Just all the kids just...
Oh, it's a good one.
They're all kind of just chilling, enjoying themselves. You can see just any group of kids just sitting there. And I'm sorry, I said the boys, but I remember that one of the fish kids is a female, so I'm sorry.
Yeah, the kids.
What do you have?
Just the kids. I have something similar to that. It is on page 24 of the Fantastic Four issue, and I call it Beers. It's the top panel, and it is Jen and Ben sitting in a moon crater, just talking and sharing some beers.
Yeah.
There's a moon in the background, and there's also a little nice joke in there where Johnny's handing Silver Surfer a hot dog, and Silver Surfer is reeling back from it, like, no!
I don't know why you like that. I mean, when do we ever see people just sitting down and having beer? I don't know.
Every 2 weeks on a Wednesday.
My top good art one is the final splash page. And
Same.
It has to be, because it's a great.
Yep.
Plus, we also finally have Alex Power and his parents there, and they're on the moon going,
Yep.
what is happening?
Yep, I called it The Adventure Continues because that's how the words that they end it with. So yeah, it's great, and it has Alex in it, and that's the reason that we're here.
Yep, that is. But let's get on to the insults now. Let's talk about some rubber and glue moments. What was the best or most childish insult? And my backup one is from Val when she says, yeah, and Wakanda is a scroll outpost, which would explain a lot about you. And of course, she's talking to Onome.
Yep. My backup one is, it's in both comics. It's on the Future Foundation. It's on page 28. And it is an interaction with Reed and Darla. It's when Reed pops in to break up two people that are kissing. And he's like, I hate to break up this happy moment, but would it be possible to steal Scott away for a few minutes, Darla? Her response is, well, as long as it isn't 4 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's, Reed's also like, I'm never going to hear the end of that, am I? And it's like, no, you're not. You know why? Because it weren't 4 minutes, you sucker.
Well, Darla, why don't you just hang out here? I'm sure we'll be right back to you. Darla? Darla? Okay.
Darla.
My top one is Ravonna, when she says, like I wanted to hang around with Bug Boy here.
Yeah.
Talking about
Nihilus. Because she is hanging out with him, but she's just trying to clean up her mess and get everybody back to the right timelines and stuff.
Yep.
And also, Kang, so she can torture him for a while.
Who doesn't like to do that? What do you have for a top
I can't think of
rubber and glue?
My top one is page 26 of Future Foundation, and it is Bentley and Adolf. And Bentley's all, particle stress, smarticle stress. Scott just wants Darla to kiss his boo-boo. Adolf's response is, his molecules smell just fine, big faker. It made me laugh.
Well, let's move on to the Parent of the Year award, the Reed Richards Award for good or bad parenting. I'm going to go with Ulana, the Watcher. She's going to have a baby.
Yep.
And
she's going to have a baby,
and she is having some good conversations with Sue Storm, talking about parenting. And that's always a good thing to do. Be an expecting parent to try to learn more about what to expect, even though she's a Watcher and knows everything. But still, it's still brand new. I fully approve of that. I'm going for the opposite member of that group. I'm going for Watu. I made him parent, and I made it good because, again, he's like, I've been around basically forever, yet I find parenthood is fast approaching. Like, how did it get here? And he's doing the work. He's great. He's also allowing himself to get involved with people. And the big part was when Reed's like, hey, if anything goes on with you and your family, we'll watch out for you. And I know you can't reciprocate that. And he's like, yeah, we'll watch out for you and your family too if anything goes on. It's like, dang, Watu, you're stepping up. That's really great. Not bad. Yeah. All right. Let's talk about most popular and most shunned. Who was the best? Who was the worst in this issue? I'm going to say the best. I'm going to go best. Johnny. Okay. He's the cook.
All right. Not too bad.
He's giving hot dogs to everybody.
Yeah, I know. You got to give it to the grill person. You got to give the grill master their props. Yep. Johnny is an excellent choice.
Who do you have?
I'm going for Franklin.
Okay.
And that is because he is cheerful. He's with people. He's like, I got to get my future best friend into the party. So he gets the Watchers in to join the thing. He also is like, no Ravonas. He's kind of goes and checks in on his family members, in his power form, and is just like, you can't come here and you don't bring Kang or Nihilus or anything like that. It's like, you may be family, but you're not family. I don't know really what you are. So I liked Franklin.
Okay. All right. Acceptable.
Yep.
Who do you have for your worst?
Reed.
Okay.
Yeah.
He was a bit of a jerk to Scott.
Well, he was a bit of a jerk to Scott. There were some other things in there, and I can't remember what they were. But yeah, especially the thing where he goes into his he interrupts people that have just admitted their love to each other and are just like starting a relationship, and he's like, now's a great time to butt in. It's like, not really, dude. Read the moon. And then when he's talking to Scott, he's just like, he makes it comes out seeming like he's upset that Scott endangered these children. He's like, I know they're geniuses, but how could you do this? And he's just like, oh, they weren't in any danger or anything. And literally Reed was kind of like, oh, wait, no, you don't understand. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about, like, how could you do that? How could you fight Doom? How? You. How? Kind of thing. And it's just... Yeah.
I was simpler. I was much simpler in mine. I thought it was Bentley because Bentley wants to dig up a corpse. I mean, that is just not a way to make the party go on. That's usually how parties end, my friend.
Haven't been to the parties I've been to.
Yes, I have. And that's why your parties suck. Because you bring up corpse digging at the wrong time. There's a time and place.
Oh, sure, you get to talk about Comic-Con, but I talk about, hey, maybe we go liven this party up and go dig up a corpse, and it's all, it's late and I gotta go home.
Well, yeah, and also, you said it in front of a federal agent, dude. Okay, anyways, we'll move on. We'll move on.
Maybe he wanted to shovel up too.
No.
I don't know what their interests are. It's hard to know what people have interest in, and I can only talk about, like, Legos and Transformers so much.
Well, let's talk about grades. Top grades. We want to evaluate each issue against other issues with a member of Power Pack in them, or stories. In this case, it's a story between a couple issues. But let's talk about it. Of course, top of the thing, we got Month of Mourning. Down spot number 21, The Loners, Reflex Action, Johnny Goes Solo. Spot 46, Sadness Abounds, as the Fantasy Score rebrand with a spider in FF number 1, The Club. Medusa versus She-Hulk, and Bentley and O'Hara versus FF in FF Volume 2, number 8, You Can't Go Home Again. And the bottom is The Awakening, and this will bring us to our 100th ranked in this list. Jeff, where do we go with here?
Well, surprisingly, the issue that this was contained in for Future Foundation is in spot 18.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is kind of a continuation of that story.
Yeah.
It's a good continuation. I'm thinking that it's not going to top 18.
No.
I enjoyed this. It was good. It was a good roundup of things, but it's definitely going to be under 18. That's my input at this point.
Yeah,
But it was still pretty good.
It was fun. It was wrapping things up. Spot 39, we've got Moloid C, Moloid Do. That's where Ant-Man kidnaps everyone on to the blue area of the moon. It's a few bit before this one. There was a lot more that was going on in that one than this one. So I kind of am feeling like it should go down a little bit. But
okay. At 40 is the big fight with the wizard in the negative zone.
Mm-hmm.
This was the first field trip ever, which was issue number 7. And that one was a little sloppy kind of in the stuff going on, because it was just sort of like the kids getting things and doing some stuff or just sitting around, and kind of resolved itself. And this, I think, resolved things a bit better than that. That one resolved the wizard storyline well, but also it was sloppy, and like with Medusa, I was brain dunned in again. Oh, yeah. Boy. And then the kids kind of like, hey, we grabbed some toys and we beat the bad guys, and it was very kind of sloppy slapstick. I could say that this would be the new 40, replacing that negative zone fight.
I would too. Let's go ahead and put this in the new 40 spot. All right?
Okay. Yeah.
Then let's talk about beer. What do we think about Hot Dog Day Afternoon Modern Cream Ale?
It's fine. In fact, I just finished topping up I just emptied the can. I'm getting the last drips out of it to replenish my glass that I've drank down really well. It's a fine beverage. The flavor has remained very light ale-like. It's very easy to drink. It is fine. It is dandy. It's
I got no issues with this beer. There's nothing wrong with this beer at all. But the problem is that there is nothing exciting about the beer.
Yeah, there's no issues about the beer.
Yeah.
That's the thing, is that where I'm like, yeah, this is definitely here, and it's good for what it is, which is it is definitely a beverage you could drink.
Yeah. And you wouldn't have any problem serving this to somebody, but at the same time, it's also not a beer that I'm like, oh, you must have this.
Yeah. At no point are you going to be like, oh man, have you tried water? Here you go.
But it's better than water.
It is. It depending on what you want.
5% ABV is nothing to scoff at either.
No, it is not. I'm going to give it a strong 3.5. There's nothing wrong with it, but there's nothing that it stands out. It is a good B- student.
Yeah, unfortunately, I have to do the same thing, and that I feel bad because I feel like it's better than that, but it's just not exciting enough after that.
It doesn't stand out. It's not showcasing its features well. It is a fine beverage that isn't moving the needle anywhere. You're like, oh, yeah. Hey, did you have that? Yeah. What'd you think? Yeah. I think I had it. So 3.5. I think that's going to be a standout. And you know what else is a standout? Kid's perspective, and that is where Rick talks to his 14-year-old daughter, Carrie, about the issue that we just covered. So Rick and Carrie, take it away.
Hello, Carrie.
Hello, Daddy.
How are you doing today?
Good, and you?
I'm fine. I was hoping that we could chat a little bit about the ending of the Fantastic Four and the Future Foundation.
Yeah.
What did you think about the ending of these two books, about the back part of these two books? What did you think about them?
I thought it was kinda neat the way they kinda like connected back. I thought it was kinda fun that they had the same panels in the end, all wholesome-y, and just wrapped up nicely. I thought it was cute.
It was nice that they had a nice mixture of the two. Each book had a different story it told with most of the same pages, but just different pages in, right?
Yeah.
Overall, did you think that it was a good ending to the books? I know that we only really read the FF one, but did you think it was a good ending?
I think so. It was a very nice, like, yay! ending.
What did you think about the choice of location and the choice of food?
Just eating hot dogs on the moon. Yeah, hot dogs take 36 minutes off your life. But, you know, they're superheroes, so they probably already have 36 hours.
You love hot dogs and you know it.
Every now and then, they're fine. Yeah.
I think you actually started to not like hot dogs once you read that fact.
No, I felt this way before.
My little healthy little girl.
No, it's really not that. It's just one a month is good. 2 a week, not good. No.
Oh, I don't know what I did to deserve a child who disdains hot dogs so much.
I don't disdain hot dogs. It's just sometimes it's a bit too much. Golly. Anyways, I thought it was fun that they were eating hot dogs on the moon.
What was your favorite part of the overall story?
Like I said, I liked how it all wrapped up. I like how they involved some of the same panels. Joking around with each other like, what, gone for 4 minutes, huh? I didn't really get some of the stuff from the FF comic book because I wasn't really there for it.
You mean the Fantastic Four part?
Yeah, Fantastic Four part. I think I got the general idea.
They didn't do too much talking about what the Fantastic Four was doing. I thought it was focused a lot more on what the FF, the Future Foundation, was doing.
Yeah.
Are you going to miss the Allred's artwork, since this is probably going to be one of the last times you're going to see it, I think?
Yeah, maybe. It's okay.
Are you looking forward to the next chapter in this lovely saga of books that we're doing?
Yeah.
And what is your feelings on the fact that we have done 200 of these episodes?
200? Whoop whoop.
Yep, this is the 200th episode.
Okay, well, did you do anything special? Because I told you you're supposed to do something special.
Not really.
No, make the music more sparkly, have wind chimes. Make it so you guys sound like you're ancient.
Well, we already sound like we're ancient since we're old.
You guys really aren't. You're so young.
But I'll see what we can do about adding wind chimes to the music or something.
Yes, make it sound like a fairy place or something, I don't know, for fun.
Besides, if anybody on here sounds ancient, it's probably you. When we started this, you sounded like a little baby.
It's just a baby. Back in my day, we had it real hard.
I think that we've done a good job, and we're not going to stop yet. We're going to keep on going, and we're going to do some more fun stuff. We're going to keep on reading some comic books.
Yay!
Thank you very much for your time, Carrie.
Thank you.
Love you.
Love you too.
Well, I talked about it in the issue, Carrie, but I like relish and ketchup on my hot dogs.
Shout out time. We like to recognize those listeners that take time to write in or leave us a review, and this is for episode 197, FF, volume number 2, number 14, Bathhouse of the August Moon. And this was liked and shared by
Excelsior Embroidery and their podcast, Why Not Read Alpha Flight,
Jeff Bullier,
Hoover Jeremiah,
Tim Price, the podcaster, and his podcast, The Outcasters,
Jeremy Daw.
We like to also thank those lovely people that take some time and give us a little bit of cash and support us on Patreon. And we would love it if you would join us on Patreon and support us, because that helps us out a lot. And that includes people like adorably astonishing and amazing Andrew Burns,
cheerfully cheeky and charming Char Logan,
challenging cheesy and chuckling Charles Gears,
destructive and devastatingly delightful Damian Witter,
intelligent, interesting, and innovative Isaac Dark Riddle,
jaunty, jubilant, and jazzy Jeff Osterritter,
jesting, joking, and jovial Jeff Bullier,
just jealous and jeweled Jeremy Daw,
muscly, mighty, and meticulous Matthew Birdsey,
mythical and magnificent monologuing Matthew Laserwitz,
steely, salty, and steamy Sailor Bear Zodar,
sad and sickeningly silly Shag Matthew,
tyrannically terrifying and tame Tim Price,
way wordy and wobbly Waffles. Next issue, we're going to cover Young Avengers number 11, Stage Nervous Breakdown.
Be sure to check out my daughter's comic strip on our website. Just do a search for Jeff and Rick Present Tales of Tales.
And we have some merchandise available on Redbubble. Go to redbubble.com and search for Unpacking the Power of Power Pack.
Jeff and Rick Present is a bi-weekly self-produced podcast recorded in front of a live studio audience in Portland, Oregon. If you'd like to interact with us through the magic of the internet, you can do so through Blue Sky at Jeff and Rick Present, our Facebook page, Jeff and Rick Present, Our email address, jeffandmerkpresent, all one word, at gmail.com, or at our website, jeffandmerkpresent.wordpress.com. Also, our YouTube channel is at Jeff and Merk Present.
And if you'd like to help support our show, we are on Patreon. You can find us at patreon.com, Jeff and Merk Present, all one word. We're also a proud supporter of the Hero Initiative, and we'll be donating 10% of our Patreon donations to this great cause. We encourage everyone to give what they can to this worthwhile organization that helps the creators who provide us with such great content. Go to heroinitiative.org to find out more.
Please rate and review us wherever you can. Tell your friends about us or show your love for us on social media.
And as always, we want to thank the powerful people in our packs.
My wife Cindy and our daughter Carrie.
My fiancée Hillary and our daughter Aurora. We love you. Until next time, costumes off.
Our theme music is 80s Action by Kevin MacLeod. Also featured in this episode is Loop Park 007 by Sasha Ende. All music is found in Incompetech.com and is licensed under Creative Commons by Attribution 4.0 license.
Latveria is in shambles, and the only thing left to do on the FF's list That's right, the post-various FF's battle wraps up. Yes, he did, John. Also at the party, it's John Bon Jovi, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But they do make some terrifyingly surprise good wingmen.
Let's check
But they... Ulana! What? Moon Zone!
Well played, sir. Well played.
Franklin has been informed of what the FF has been up to. Franklin is fascinated and links the use of pink... Scrap that all. The fish kids point out that you gotta be careful with messing around with that y-axis. Next issue, we are going to be covering Young Avengers... Oh gosh, why can't I say these?